Fala aí pessoal, tudo bem? Estamos aqui diretamente da BGS de 2018, segundo dia, e hoje vamos entrevistar ninguém menos do que Shota Nakama.
Well, thanks. It's nice to be here, and thanks for interviewing. And everybody knows what my name means, and it's glorious. And
You like that?
I mean, after all, I get laid with a pussy every night, and right? Like,
Yeah.
literally, like I have one every night. So
Yes.
not like you guys,
Yeah.
all you gamers.
Okay, he knows what his name means, so we're going to start here. Okay, so for you who don't know him, he's the creator of the video game orchestra. Yeah, so he makes music out of games, and goddamn, thank you for that. And he also worked at Kingdom Hearts, Lightning Returns, and well, Final Fantasy.
Yeah, I've done quite a lot of stuff. So for Square Enix, I did Kingdom Hearts 2.5, Lightning Returns, 12, the Final Fantasy 12 Zodiac Age, Final Fantasy 15, and I've done like some concert arrangements for Final Fantasy 14 as well. So I've done a lot of Final Fantasies. And for Bandai Namco, I did God Eater 2 and 3, and we've recorded some stuff for Tekken as well, Tales games. And let me see, what else? We worked on Sonic Mania. My team worked on Sonic Mania as well. Yeah, we didn't compose
Can I
it.
hug you? Later.
We didn't.
Can I hug a shot? Sorry.
Once you get, yeah, yeah, I'm not gonna get it wet, but but no. So yes, my team mixed it, and yeah, it was great, like really great. And yeah, we've done some films, some animation stuff as well. Like we've done like Made in Abyss. What else? Little Witch Academia, and we worked on the Rising of the Shield Hero.
Okay, so
Yeah,
you have a big curriculum, a lot of games and stuff. That's awesome, and I thank you for that. Okay, so the first question is, how did you join this market of the games? You graduated and you said, okay, I'm going to work on a video game orchestra and I'm going to produce music to games. How did that happen?
It was pretty random. So one day I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna start an ensemble that plays video game music, and it's gonna be fun. It was just like, it was not like a super serious deal, you know what I mean? But it was fun. So I put together an ensemble. I asked a bunch of friends of mine, and I formed a little ensemble. We did a show in Boston for like 150 people or something. So then we're like, you know what? Let's do it again. And as we kept doing more shows, our presence on YouTube increased. So our videos got super popular, and we have some million views on some videos. And so as the concert business grew, and we kind of branched out to the production side as well. And it was a natural choice because we're having an orchestra, and I can write stuff, and we have great engineers. So it was like, why not? And let's just start doing this too. So that's how I branched out. It's a very different path from everybody else, all the other composers, because all the composers usually start composing and then they become composers, right? But in my case, I'm a rock musician, and I do like all this bunch of shows, and then I kind of tapped into different realms. So yeah, very unique.
Yeah, great. And how was to you just said that the project grew a lot. So how was to grow the project that was little, the video game orchestra, then you have so many viewers and you're opening shows and make your own show and a lot of people coming to watch. How was the feeling?
Well, how did I feel? Well, it was fun. It was really fun, and
I believe you're passionate about it, right?
right. I mean, yeah, and also like I've always been a rock musician. I've always loved doing shows and stuff, and every show you do, like it's so fun to see like 2,000-3,000 people like going like nuts over what you're playing, and it just that positive exchange of emotion is like. There's nothing else that's better than that. It feels really great, and I feel great, and the audience felt great, and the musicians felt great. So it was just we're like we have to keep going. We have to keep doing this.
And how, as you said, you're a rock man, right? And how is to put together a set list to a show, because you have so many different and excellent music songs, and how do you change the music to give some rock style?
So I'm responsible for arranging all the pieces, and because I want to do it in my style, and I have I have very strong belief in the style I do, and so yeah. Well, first I would think about how I will structure the music, how I would structure the concerts, and I would start like the first song and the ending song, and it kind of work on whatever that's in between, and. When in terms of arranging process, when I listen to a bunch of pieces and that people recommend me, and I would just listen through, and some pieces work, some pieces don't work, but then I get like a bunch of ideas in my head, and I just start writing on sheet music and say like maybe this is gonna be good. All right, let's do this and let's do that. Let's add some really awesome guitar solo, keyboard solo, like drum solo, and stuff like that. I just shuffle things around and then like build our concert.
And I don't know if I'm correct right now, but I'll try to be correct. I believe you started at the video game orchestra in that part, then you came to the video game parts, right? Okay, how was to change from the orchestra, from make your own note, to get known musics and change to your style to create video game music into video games and big franchises, as you said, Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy?
Right. I mean, I was born and raised in Japan. And in my age, so I'm 36 years old right now, and I've experienced the golden time of video games in Japan. Like I went through the shift from Nintendo to Super Nintendo, or I should say like Famicom to Super Famicom, and then to PlayStation. So I very much just went through that time, and I played the shit out of the games. I played a lot. So I know I'm pretty confident that I know the music and I know what the fans want because I was a fan. I am still a fan as well.
Still play video games?
I do. Whenever I can, though.
Yeah.
Like I have a little time to spare for that.
We are hearing that a lot from everyone.
Right. And also, like once you are in the production, then you kind of play less because you just don't want to get too sucked in. Because I want to hear all the pieces I worked on, so I would keep playing the games, and then I would just ignore all the stuff I have to do, and that's not good. So, but yeah, so I think the music, the video game music at least, was kind of naturally absorbed to me as I played so much games, and yeah, so it was pretty natural for me to kind of just put together an ensemble that plays video game music, and it wasn't something different from what I do. It was just a part of me, so it was pretty easy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, excellent. When you do something that we love, it gets natural. And I believe you have the same opinion as me, but I played a lot of video games as well. I started on Atari and then Famicom, Super Famicom, Mega Drive, PlayStation, blah 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 blah. Yeah. And something that always amazed me is when you have a great music on the background, like Sonic, Zelda, Metal Gear, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, whatever. So how does music, when you're playing a game and you have great music, a score, it's awesome and you get emotional with the game. How does that the music affect you when you're playing a game? And in your opinion, do you have any games that say, okay, it's amazing, I love those 3-5 games? The music, of course.
Well, I mean, the music is really, I think it's the biggest part of the emotional expression of any games or films or TV shows or anime to begin with. And
sorry to interrupt you, but we played a game here that's, I would not say the game, but did not have sound. Like, okay, it's nice, but it's boring without sound.
Yeah, and unless it's intentional, like you do need music, you do need the sounds, and otherwise you just don't feel it. Yes. And there are a lot of things the music can do that the visuals cannot do, right? So yeah, you asked me like what's my favorite soundtrack and stuff. It's a hard one. I've got to say, Dragon Quest is big. Dragon Quest is definitely big because
it's huge in Japan.
Yeah, I was a Dragon Quest guy. So that also God of War my friend Gerard Marino composes it, and he's composed for it, and yeah, he's the themes that he came up with is gorgeous. It's crazy epic. And let me see what else.
Metal Gear?
Well, Metal Gear is good too. There's just way too many to list. Yeah. Yeah, no, like, there's just so many.
Yeah.
Can't really decide, but yeah.
But they're all good. That's what matters. Yes, and I want your opinion on something. Video game orchestra is part of a movement of great orchestras that they are taking the sound, the video game to everywhere in America, in Japan, Europe, and a few here. We see this year we had Kingdom Hearts Orchestra here, which is awesome. What's your opinion about this? Because it's a market that's growing. You have different worlds. You have the Kingdom Hearts Orchestra. I learned that we had the Final Fantasy 14 Eurasian Orchestra, and many others. So what do you think about that? Because for us gamers, it's awesome to have so many people coming in and making orchestras of video game, and it's amazing. And it's amazing. People that don't like or they don't understand video game, they go to the list and say, "Wow, that's amazing."
Yeah, well, I have a very split opinion about that. So in a way, it's good. It's great that we're delivering the music that people love, as long as it's done right.
Yes.
And as long as it's the intention is not business, and if the intention is to really, bring out something you really love, I think that's great. Yeah, and it's just some concerts get a little too businessy, and
That happens.
and also some of the arrangements are just not that, not as good. And we can tell, because I do music for a living, and we can tell that it's not done by somebody who actually loves the soundtrack. And then, because then why, right?
You're the
yeah,
professional.
and but yeah, like when it's done right, I think it has a huge significant impact in our lives, and so it should be done that way, and it should be done by people with passion and people with love for the kind of music. Yeah.
Yeah. And our last question: when are we going to see video game orchestra here, in Brazil, in South America?
So I
Good question.
I gotta say that the style that we do, like rock and orchestra, I think that will be really, really big here. And we've talked to some promoters, and unfortunately things haven't happened yet. But we are talking with a few who are very, very promising.
Great.
And so we may be performing here next year. Wow. And yeah, and also like I would love to collaborate with some of the Brazilian musicians when I do. And of course orchestra, but also some of the band musicians, because there are two bands I love from Brazil. Dr. Sin and also Angra.
Oh!
Man, these bands are the best.
Yeah. Do you know that Angra did the opening music song for Senseiya here?
Oh, really?
Really? It's
Oh
really
my
famous.
God! No, I don't listen to that. I haven't listened to that. Well, no,
after here,
no, because they had a show in Boston. I went to see them, and they're friends of mine, so I went to talk to them. But yeah, like no, these guys are fantastic. They're amazing, and yeah, Angra and Dr. Sin. I would love to work with them if we do shows here.
Awesome. If you do, a quick tip for you. Here, Brazilians, we love. Now it's Horizon Chase, but it was Top Gear for Super Famicom. Don't know if you've ever played, I've heard. But Barry Leach, he made the soundtrack, and we Brazilians, we just love that. So if you want to include that one as a bonus for everyone, people will get crazy.
But like, so my concerts are a little different, and from the rest of the shows. For the encore, what we usually do is we just kind of fuck around with like anime songs or like hard rock songs, like classic rock tunes. Like last concert we did in New York, we did like Van Halen song for the encore. Wow. Before we did a Carry On Wayward Son from Kansas, and so if we were doing shows here, I would just throw in like Angra song or something, Carry On by Angra, or like Saint Seiya song or something for the encore.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Because like I love Saint Seiya.
Call Angra and tell.
I know.
Play here.
And play. No, like I love those guys, and also I watched a lot of anime, and I still read manga, and I grew up watching Saint Seiya, Dragon Ball Z, and all those things. So Yeah, so yeah, I would love to throw in some of those. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Shota, thank you very much for the interview. We hope you the best, that you enjoy the show, and we hope to see you next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Alô, galera! Muito obrigado por assistir a mais um vídeo do Última Ficha. Não deixem de curtir o vídeo, se inscrever no canal e acompanhar as nossas redes sociais que estão na descrição do vídeo. Acessem nosso site www.ultimaficha.com.br para todas as notícias mais quentes do mundo dos jogos. Até a próxima!